Thank you and welcome back for another bolt action unboxing. Sorry about the glare. We're going to get the cellophane off of this really quick, but I decided that I need to have an opponent for my Marines, obviously the opponent should be the Japanese. So I picked up the Japanese starter so that because I don't have any regular opponents right now, I can at least run scenarios and learn the game myself by having two small armies. And so I picked up the Japanese starter, and so why don't we take a look at that. So this is the box. Again, it has 1,000-point army list. In order to create the 1,000-point armies, they did have to have a veteran Chiha medium tank. I don't know if that's the most reasonable thing or not, but it at least got to the 1,000-point cap. Alright, so let's get this open. And just so you know, it is lead free. It's for the metal parts. So those little types of figures way back in the day used to be made out of lead. That turns out to be a very dangerous thing to do, so we don't do that anymore. But I guess they still need to let people know that they don't do that anymore. So there we go. There's the box. Let's see what we get inside. So I am going to assume this is going to be very similar to the US Marine box in terms of the variety of contents. So there we go with our damage markers. I guess it doesn't take very long to start collecting up a fair number of those. Then this must be the Chiha Tank, so similar to the half track. It is in a separate Ziploc bag. And we'll take a quick look. So quite a few extra parts with this. A little bit of research on this, but it seems to be two upper hulls. They use the same lower hull, track, sprockets, suspension. Again, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about this, so we're going to go over it quickly. So lower hull, it looks like some turret pieces, crew, some side panels, exhaust, again more turret pieces, more side panels, weapon. So I guess it's what you would expect out of a tank. Again, I'm not going to pretend I know a lot about this, so I assume that we're going to get a whole bunch of sprues for the minis. Let's see, we'll get one of these out to look at. Move these others to the side. And it looks, actually it looks like maybe, do we get one more sprue than we did with the American starter? One, two. Yeah, it looks like we get one more sprue than we did with the US Marines. We get 8 sprues instead of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we get 8 instead of 7. So that's interesting, but each sprue looks like we have 6 minis on each. They're holding their weapons. I know nothing about these weapons except for this. This can be either a flagpole or you can stick a mine to the end of that in order to have basically a suicide, well, technically I guess they weren't supposed to be suicide at this point. In theory they could survive this, although they usually didn't. You would run up to a tank, thrust this thing with a mine on the end of it into the tank. It would blow up, disable the tank, and usually blow up the soldier delivering the charge as well. again, I don't know the names of all of the Japanese weapons. It looks like we have a katana here, and then a handheld katana, a sheath. I think this is for there's a mini mortar, like a knee mortar, I think they call it. Looks like some of their SMGs. I assume that there is a sniper gun here somewhere, although I'm not seeing it right off the bat, and I'm not going to hunt for it just yet, so we'll put that off to the side. Then let's see, we have all of the bases, so we end up with 20, 30, 40 of the round bases. 41 of the round bases, unless, yeah, that's just an extra one. It's 41 of the round bases. Now, one thing I did notice, so this one has the lip on it. These ones do not. In the Marines one, as I noticed, I got a mix of lips and flat bases. And then we have the double base, or I guess for the prone guys, we have a couple of the larger bases. I kind of wish there was one more of these in the Marines. Let's see, we have the Chiha cards for the couple of different variants. We have flags that we can attach to our equipment with a flagpole. We have our Chiha decals. Mirella, thank you very much, Mirella. Let's see, we have our little guide here for what's on the sprue. This is our mine, our guy with the mine on his stick. This looks like an SMG, I'm guessing. Prone, then our commander with his katana. There's the knee mortar. So I don't necessarily think there is a sniper gun on the sprue. Then we have Chiha Tank. This is actually a much more significant instruction book than the half-track or the M3 Stuart that I've purchased. It's an actual book. It looks like one of the arms must have fallen off one of the sprues. I'm going to just leave that in the box. So not quite as much metal. So we get an extra sprue of guys, but we only get a couple of bags of metal parts. So let's see, we get a Bonsai Mortar. And this one doesn't say what it is. Interesting. Well, let's look at the mortar first, and we'll see if we can decipher what this other one is. So there's the mortar parts, so very similar to the mortar for the US. And then our crew laying down, looks like we have a guy carrying a shell there, a loader. That must be the spotter, he's holding his ears. And we got a couple of heads. Very similar to the American mortar team. Put that off to the side. And now let's see if we can figure out what this is. This was packaged by Vass, so thank you, Vass, even though the bag doesn't tell us what it is. Interesting. Is this for a... This looks like it's for a MMG, a medium machine gun, looks like. And this looks like it's probably our lieutenant. So it looks like we have a lieutenant in here, and then it looks like we have an MMG team. And this guy looks like he's a loader. Binoculars, this guy's our spotter. This guy's the trigger man. That's the MMG. And then we have our heads. So I think I deciphered that correctly. Let me know in the comments if I didn't. But I'm pretty sure that these three go together as part of the MMG team. And then this is our lieutenant. We didn't have a separate lieutenant in the US box. So it looks like there is no sniper here. Take a quick look at the side panel of the box here again. Try and focus that in for everybody. So there's our lieutenant plus 2 soldiers. Again, this is just for the 1,000-point list. It's not a breakdown of what's in the box. They have 3 10-man teams, a grenadier squad. So that's 14 men and 3 light mortars. So that's like the knee mortars, I believe. A couple of the suicide tank guys. Medium machine gun. So that is a medium machine gun. Medium mortar, which we saw. And then the Chiha. So that's it. So there is no sniper in this box. I mean, again, I'm not an expert. Maybe the Japanese just didn't have snipers or didn't have very many snipers in their army. I don't know. But thank you very much. I have a lot of work to do to get all of this assembled and get armies put together in order to be able to do some battles for this. And it's interesting because my 2 top navies with victory at sea are the Japanese and the Americans, and now I have the Japanese and the Americans with bolt action. I don't know if there's some sort of thing that I can do to combine them. That'd be kind of cool if I could. I'm not necessarily thinking that I will end up doing that, but you never know. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Have fun. Build some models. Do some painting. Play some games. Have fun. You deserve it. And we'll see you next time.